Hi guys, I'm Mirza.
And I, Alwanee Damdee.
Would like to present about the material, the crises of kings and nobles. The crisis of kingship in the 14th century, as the Middle Ages were nearing their end, tensions between the monarchy and the nobility were escalating. The first major crisis came in 1327 when King Edward II was deposed and brutally murdered. His son Edward III was only 11 years old when he inherited the throne. As he grew older and gained power, Edward III sought justice and punished those responsible for his father's death. However, a dangerous precedent had already been set. The idea that a king could be removed or even killed had become a reality. This deeply undermined the traditional belief in the deepen and untouchable authority of the monarchy. Later, Henry IV spent much of his reign trying to reinforce royal authority and bring stability. Although he successfully passed the crown to his son without conflict, he had unknowingly planted the seeds of civil war. Over the next 50 years, the nobility became divided. Some supported the Lancastrian line, descended from Henry IV, and others backed the Yorkist claim, descended from another royal branch. This division would lead to one of the most dramatic periods of conflict in English history. The Wars of the Roses. During this time, there were fewer than 60 noble families in England. Many were connected through marriage and shared both power and rivalry. Some nobles had gained immense influence. After returning from wars in France, many retained private armies, not for national defense, but to intimidate local people and secure their own power. For instance, by 1550, the Duke of Buckingham commanded a private army of around 1,000 men. The country became increasingly unstable as nobles took sides. Some remained loyal to King Henry VI and the Lancastrian claim. Others supported the Duke of York, the Yorkist claimant. The Duke of York had a strong blood claim and believed his family had been wrongfully excluded from the throne. After his death in battle, his son Edward continued the fight and successfully seized the throne in 1460, becoming Edward IV. Richard III and the fall of York. At this point, the war might have ended, if only Edward IV's son had been old enough to rule. However, after Edward IV died in 1483, his two sons, Edward V, aged 12, and his younger brother, were placed in the Tower of London by their uncle, Richard of Gloucester. Richard claimed the throne for himself and became Richard III. Shortly after, the two young princes mysteriously disappeared and were believed to have been murdered. Many people at the time and historians since then suspected Richard III. Although his guilt has never been definitively proven, his motives were clear, and public opinion turned against him. Richard was unpopular even among both Yorkist and Lancastrian supporters.
Henry Tudor and the end of the war. In 1485, a new challenger imagined Henry Tudor, a man with a distant but legitimate claim to the throne called John of Kent. He was also half Welsh, which helped him gain support in certain regions. Henry landed in England with a small army, including French soldiers, and met Richard III at the Battle of Bosworth. During the battle, many of Richard's allies switched sides, leading to a swift and decisive victory for Henry. Richard III was killed in the fight. Henry Tudor was crowned King Henry IV on the battlefield, marking the end of the War of the Roses and the beginning of the powerful Tudor dynasty. The legacy of the Wars of the Roses. Through the wars seemed brutal and chaotic, the truth is more nuanced. The term Wars of the Roses was only coined much later in the 19th century by Sir Walter Scott, a Scottish novelist. He used the name based on the symbols of the two rival houses, the White Rose of York and the Red Rose of Lancaster. Many historians once believed that these wars brought England to the brink of collapse, but in reality, actual fighting only took place over a total of 15 months within a 25 years period. The conflicts primarily involved the nobility and their private armies. Most of the common people were not directly involved. Still, the wars had a lasting impact. that shook the foundation of a monarchy, challenged the idea of and paved the way for the centralized power that the Tudor would later wield. So that's our journey through the crisis of kingship and the wars of the roses. This chapter is more than just record of battles, and is a window into how power, loyalty, ambition, and betrayal shaped the future of England. Thank you for listening, and I hope this helped you see history not just a list of events, but as a story full of drama and consequence. See you!